Well, in other news, in what is being seen as a major step forward, an Indo-Japan summit will work on ways to build a truly strategic relationship between the two countries. Now, the co-chairs will be former Japanese Prime Minister and senior leader of the Democratic Party of Japan, Yukio Hatoyama, and Sam Pitroda. Well, NDTV's Vikram Chandra caught up with them for a special interview.
So a new Indo-Japan summit being announced, which is really going to take strategic relations between the two countries forward. This has already been said to be by the Indian side and by the Japanese side to be one of the most important strategic partnerships of both countries. We're going to try and find out now the reasons for that. It gives me great pleasure to welcome, we are being joined right here by Mr. Yukio Hatoyama, former Prime Minister of Japan, leader of the Democratic Party of Japan. It's an honor to have you with us, sir. And Sam Pitroda, of course, we know him as a tech guru, but also somebody who's leading the relations between India and Japan. And both of you are going to be co-chairs of the Indo-Japan summit as well. Hatoyama-san, I wanted to ask you, why is the relationship with India important for Japan? And how important is this relationship from a Japanese point of view?
日本とインドは例えば民主主義あるいは市場経済こういった価値を共有している
Japan shares same sort of values with India, such as democracy and market economy. Therefore, India and Japan are very important partners, but the potentialities of both countries have not been fully utilized. Therefore, it's important for us to heighten the level of cooperation between the two countries, so that between Japan and India, not only we should increase trade, economy, politics, security, and culture, and I think we should have better contact with each other and interactions with each other.
あるいは政治の面においても将来的には安全保障の面においても文化的な面においてももっと接触を高めていくことが非常に重要だとそのように感じています。
Mr. Pitroda, when India looks at Japan, I mean, there are very few areas where India and Japan actually have their interests crossing each other. The similarity of interests in many ways, and maybe synergistic interests in some areas, China being just one of them, perhaps how we deal with them. Is this a relationship which you think India needs to pay a little bit more focus on?
I think so. I think in the past, the relationship hasn't really been that great in terms of advancing business interests. From my perspective, what GEs of the world has done in India is very different from what Japanese companies have done in India. So it is important that we take this relationship to the next level.
You're saying that the GEs and others have invested more in India and built up local
capabilities, local talent, joint ventures, and so there are lots of interesting things Japanese companies could do. And it's not just about business. I think there are issues related to art, science, culture, education, health services. And the other interesting area from my perspective is really urbanization. And I believe India has a lot to learn from Japan on urbanization, as we are moving very fast on urbanization.
Right. It's often said that Japan, and Japan says this in the recent past, that it wants to see a stronger India, and that a stronger India is in Japan's interest. What is the reason for that, and is it essentially to act as a counterweight to China, or are there other reasons?
中国に対する対抗という意味ではありません。
Not to encounter China, we should welcome the economic growth of China, and we have been welcoming the further growing economy of India. As Japanese economy has been having some difficulties, the increase of the strength of Chinese economy and Indian economy, and that helps the Japanese economy to be stronger also. Therefore, I am of the opinion that we should try to make Asia as a single unit of market that we can cooperate with.
行くべき時だとそのように思っています。
Okay. So just turning to some of the specific ways in which Japan is being able to help industrialization in India, perhaps the most well-known is this Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor, and the other corridors. There's an agricultural corridor, which is being spoken about, Delhi to Kolkata, coastal corridors, IT corridors. Is this the sort of a way where you think India can get specific help, and how do you think these can be taken forward in a more specific manner?
I think the examples you gave are the critical examples. You know, we need to modernize our freight management, logistics. The amount of time it takes to move products in India is not in line with the modern demand. These are the areas where Japanese have had great experience, and I think we can learn a lot and expedite the process of modernization. At the end of the day, our challenge is to expedite the process of modernization. We all know that we have challenges related to disparity, demography, and development. Disparity between rich and poor, urban, rural, educated, and uneducated. Demography, we have 550,000 young below age of 25. To me, that's workforce for the world. Okay. And 3, how do we expedite development, which include education, health, transportation, all of it.
Right. Sir, the point that Mr. Petroda was just saying, that workforce of the world, one of the biggest problems for Japan is an aging population, and you're going to have a shortage of workforce. Is that something where you think India or Indian workers can help in, you're maybe getting people to help keep Japanese industries and others going as the Japanese population ages?
What you have said is very important, and I fully support that kind of efforts. And maybe excluding India, most of the countries in Asia are facing this aging population problem. But Japan has been having the most acute problem of aging population. And how we can face that problem, and this is where, in order to solve the problem, to have young Indians with their skills and energy to come, that would be the one of the answers. And that answer that if Japan found could be also utilized for Asia as a whole and Japan's future. And in this area, also I support the strategic global partnership initiative between India and Japan.
Mr. Sam Petroda, thank you both so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And all the best with the Indo-Japan summit. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Look forward to your help.